Hey there, this is Red. It's time for another review, and today I wanted to talk to you about The Mind. So, The Mind is one of those games that I mentioned previously. It was one of my favorites of playing this last year. So, this is, if you're looking for The Mind, this is the box for The Mind. All right, so The Mind is from Pandasaurus Games. It's 2 to 4 players. It says 20 minutes on the box, but I don't know unless we have lost horribly that I've ever played in under 20 minutes. It's got ages of 8 plus, I would say. 8-year-olds could play this game. You could play it pretty young. It's going to be a little bit challenging, I would say, to probably be on the same wavelength that you need to be in order to play this game. And we'll try to talk about that here in a second. So, one of the things I want to pull up real fast. Let's see here. So if we go out and look on BGG right now, one of the great things about this game, let's scroll down here to the cost. So the cost on this game is sitting right in between like 10 and 20 bucks. So it's a good game to get your hands on. It's a lot of fun for the price for this game. All right. I guess with that, what I'm going to do is we'll drop to the table and kind of talk you through the components of the game and get you familiar with it. Okay, so drop to the tabletop, we've got The Mind. So the thing to note is this is the rule book for The Mind, right? So it's not much. The rules are pretty simple here. So you have the rule book comes out of the box. The next big thing that you'll find in the box is you've got this big deck of cards. The main deck of cards is a bunch of numbers. 93, 48. So essentially we've got numbers 1 through 100 as a deck of cards. Right? And you're going to want these to be randomized. So you're going to shuffle them all up. That's going to be the majority of what comes in the box. A couple of other things are you will have these level cards. You have level 1, 2, 3, 4. As you play the game, the idea is to progress through these levels, right? And of course, you start off at level 1. Makes sense. You'll have some cards that represent your lives, and you'll have some cards that are ninja stars. So I think we'll set up for a 3-player game here. So I think a 3-player game is 1, 2, 3 lives, and I think you get 1 star. So we'll go 3 lives and 1 ninja star. And we'll talk about what ninja stars do in a second here. But the first part is lives. When you run out of lives, the game's over. So that's pretty simple. Okay, so the object of the game is to place cards and reveal cards into the middle of the table from 1 to 100 in ascending order and not do it out of order, which seems pretty simple. The part of the game that makes this complex is that you cannot communicate what numbers you have in your hand or reveal your cards. So I can't show somebody, hey, I've got 78. This is the next card. I'm ready to throw it out there. Play your card first. Or I can't say, oh, yeah, I'm sitting above 50, right? I can't communicate the value of my cards to the other players. I can look at them and I can do things like slowly move my card out there, but I can't communicate. I can't say 2. I have, like +2, or I'm going to blink this eye once for 10 and this one 3 times for 1s, and I've got a 13, right? So you can't communicate the values of the cards that you have. So for example, for this first round here, what would end up happening is I would deal out 1 card to each player. All right, and then we would all secretly look at our cards. So I would look at my card and see that I've got 54. Oof. So this, honestly, to me, is the toughest round to play of the game, is this first round, because it's also easy to get past this round without losing all your lives, but a lot of times you lose a life. In multiplayer games, you tend to lose more. So it's a tough round. So I've got 54, right? So odds are that these folks would be underneath me, or one of them would be underneath me, because I'm kind of like right in the middle of 1 to 100. But if we look at these other players here, so they're looking at their card, they're 74, and they're thinking they're pretty high. And this person over here is 64, right? So we're at the beginning of the game, and we're probably all staring each other down because I've got the lowest card at 54. And I'm thinking odds are that somebody goes before me. So we're all pretty hesitant. I'm thinking somebody's probably got to have at least 30 or under, right? But that's not the case. So we would be staring each other down. So what might end up happening is this person over here is somebody that just, they want to play. So part of this game is personality, figuring out the different personalities of the people at the table. If I'm taking too long and being way too cautious, this person might go ahead and go. So let's say they take their card and throw it out there. Boom, 64. We're all like, oh man. So what happens is then I have to reveal my card was lower than theirs. So I would reveal my card and we would lose a life. If we were playing multiple people, or even if this person's card was lower than 64, we would all reveal our cards and we would just lose 1 life. All right. So at this point, we would know that 64 came out, and this person would reveal their card. 74, we would have ended that round, right? Played all of our cards. All right, so then we would step up to level 2, all right? All right, so I take these cards and shuffle them back in. I'm not gonna bother shuffling all of it right now. And we start the next round. Next round, everybody gets 2 cards. So 2 cards. All right, so one of the things that you're supposed to do is everybody's supposed to put their hand in the middle of the table. Once everybody puts their hand in the middle of the table, you remove your hands to say you're ready to go. And at that point, you're not communicating about values of your cards and stuff. So I would look at my cards and I've got a 92 and a 52. So again, I'm thinking I'm not playing for a while. So I would probably be sitting back waiting for a bit, right? And this person looked at their cards. They've got 80 and 23. And this person looked at their cards. They've got 86 and 8. All right, so they're probably thinking the 8 needs to go out pretty fast. So this person would probably edge that out there and not see anybody else jumping on it and toss the 8 out there. All right, and this person's looking at their cards. Let's see, they've got 23 and 80, and we've got 86 over here, and I'm still sitting above 50, right? So this person's feeling maybe 8, so they drop their card, 23. Right after that, we're all looking at pretty high cards, and I'm not feeling great about my 52 going. So what I would do is I would raise my hand. If everybody raises their hand, then we would spend our ninja star. What the ninja star does is when you spend the ninja star, everybody reveals their lowest card, right? So the good thing about this is they only had 1 card left, so they would reveal their lowest cards, 86 and 80, and I would reveal my lowest card being 52. Right, so awesome. So those cards are now played, and I only have 1 card left to play, so I drop my 92, and we're through this round. Because level 2 here gives you a ninja star, we would gain a ninja star back. Yay, team! And we would move on to level 3. So level 3, we would take all these cards, put them back in the deck, shuffle the deck back up, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I'm not doing it because it's pretty loud. And we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. And we all get 3 cards, right? So now I'm going to look at my cards, and I've got 1 in each section, right? So that's going to put me a little bit iffy. And then the game would just proceed as this, right? And we keep going. One of the things you can do during the game is you can say stop. Then everybody has to immediately stop, and until everybody puts their hand then back into the middle and removes it, then gameplay resumes. So that's how the game goes. In a 2-player game, you play up to level 12. If you beat level 12, you beat the game. A 3-player game like this, you would go up to level 10. And then in a 4-player game, you go up to level 8. Depending upon how many players you have, also depends on the lives and the stars that you start with. We play a 5 and 6 player version of this too, which isn't part of the official rules and the official way to play. When we play in that method, we usually go with the 4-player setup with what we start with. So that's the basics of the mind. So with that said, I think I will turn it over to final thoughts. All right, so final thoughts on the mind. So this game I've played really at the 3 to the unofficial 5 and 6 player count. I think this really shines in the 4 to 6 player type environment where you have a lot of other people to play off of. I think it does better. I've played it with my kids. I think it does better with adults, but I think it is very playable with kids. It is interesting to see how your kids play this game, because that's a whole huge piece of this game is the interaction and seeing different people's play styles and how they react to different things. For the price point, it seems kind of silly to pay $20 for cards numbered 1 through 100 and a few other cards. But the amount of play and fun that you get out of this game is very much worth the price point of this game. I've played it with a variety of friends, both gamers and non-gamers, people that like heavy games, people that like quick games. It seems to be pretty universally accepted as a good game. I've had people use this. Actually, I took this to work with me and played it with a bunch of people, like kind of an after hours get together for gaming in California. I'm based out of Kansas City. And it was a great icebreaker amongst the people that were there just to talk and meet other people. I've heard of people using this as a cooperative team building game in their business with people that don't play games, and they've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's very portable. I mean, it's just a tiny little box. If you ruin your cards, it's not a whole lot to get another version of the game. It's a good filler game. Doesn't take all that long. You don't feel bad if things don't work out, then you just play another round. So, like I said, the past year, this has been one of my favorite games to play, and I would highly recommend this game. 2 thumbs up for it. So that's it for this red review of The Mind. Please comment on your playing of The Mind, or you think, maybe I convinced you to get it. Or if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe, and I will catch you later. Thank you very much.